Hey, this is Bree with Cosmic Siren. Welcome to the Siren Pod, the safe space for my quirky and curious souls who wish to connect more deeply and who believe in magic. I want to support you in living life to the tune of your soul. And for today, I felt called to pull some cards to give you guys just some general messages and guidance from your spirit guides and higher self to support you in shifting towards your highest timeline. So I'm going to put some card and we'll see what we get. Okay. Cardinal and shirt. I am open to receive. I am open. Rite of passage. The first coordinator is step into your power. Wow. Okay. So a lot of extra cards. I was just going to pull one each, but we'll go with it. So I'm going to read from the guidebook for these two, the Rite of Passage and Beyond the Veil. Swimming towards the horizon, the obstacle is the doorway. I will find a way through. I see the tests as markers of my inner power and strength. An ancient gate stands at the brink of the open ocean, welcoming you into warm celestial waters ahead. After swimming through lengths of tunnels and tides, it is a welcome sign that you are moving in the right direction. To finally reach this portal may feel like the ultimate test, the very last stretch of a challenge. But there is a light ahead, and you can almost touch it, feel it, and taste it. Notice if you experience a shift in values as this next stage becomes filled with undeniable truths that were previously obscured. New light shines into the darkness as you move forward, and you are drawn to this warmth like a moth to a flame. The rite of passage often appears when we are in the midst of passing through the shadows. Stepping over the threshold into the unknown, we are forced to move beyond fear, which is not always comfortable. The key is to find the light of potential within this challenge, to see how it feeds your strength and summons your brilliance. Life transformations help us soulfully evolve, much like the catapulting moments that trigger our growth beyond our control. What final challenge am I now working through? We do not grow just once, nor do we heal just once. Over and over again, each rite of passage comes with its own milestone and lessons. Some may feel small, while others appear insurmountable. These may guide us inward, deepening our connection to self, and other moments they guide us outward, into spaces and experiences that make our world even larger. Either way, we awaken to new wonder. If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or that a certain goal is too big, see this as an indication of the scope of your dreams. The currents always shift, and they are here to prepare you for the next vital stage. Your feelings are the navigation points that help you move with perseverance. This is not meant to be easy, and time is of the essence. You may be challenged beyond belief, but to endure this last test, trusting that you are more than capable, is to prepare you for anything. Anchor into the intention of your spirit and cross this next doorway into a new way of being. And then we'll go beyond the veil. Unlocking ancient wisdom, Lemuria, remembering and returning. I am reawakening to a new way of being. There is a world that still lives on in the memories of many people today, shared with the beat of a collective heart. Perhaps you have heard its call or sense its wisdom rising. Lemuria, also known as Mu, is said to be an ancient paradise that existed millions of years ago that was home to a group of highly advanced beings, widely believed to have been located in the Pacific Ocean. Lemuria shares interesting correlations with cultures surrounding this area. Lemurians lived in absolute harmony with all life on Earth, thriving with a deep spiritual pulse that connected every cell and living organism. All life communicated through a sentient language of love and creation, and it was a world that vibrated at a much higher frequency. Some would say it was angelic in nature and resembled a proverbial Garden of Eden. Now lost to our surface world, Lemuria was believed to have been submerged during a great deluge. During this cataclysm, many Lemurians fled to the outskirts of the earth, shape-shifting into gentle creatures of the sea, air, and sky. Others went deep within the planet, populating places such as Mount Shasta and other spaces that later became known as the inner earth we know today, Agartha. Yeah, I feel like, I did say I was feeling called to bring in messages on how to shift your higher timeline, and I feel like these two summed up pretty much that energy, that feeling of like the rite of passage. It's like there's this huge life that you envision for yourself. There's this different kind of like worlds that you envision for yourself, right? Like You may, whether it's like, through your clairs, through your senses, you may sense, feel, see, hear a whole different life for yourself, which is like the highest timeline. It could be you're feeling or seeing like new relationships, whatever that means to you, a different career. You just see yourself living and moving in a different lifestyle and being a different way. And it feels like a huge hurdle, right? Like you have this vision for yourself and you might be either afraid or not knowing like how to get there, right? It feels like it's a completely different world, as if you're, traveling through a different portal. And it is, it's a highest timeline, right? Our timelines are all there for us. Our highest timeline, it's where we're vibrating at the highest level and we're connected with that, right? We see that for ourselves. We see our highest potential. We are connected with our higher self. We know what is possible for us. We know I am open to receive. We know what is available for us. We know what we want and really desire in this life. And I feel like these cards are kind of symbolizing that fact. The beyond the veil, the messages of the Lemurians, it's like, you have a very open heart, a very open mind, a very open spirit. You are connected more easily with the feelings of just unconditional love, right? And whenever I talk about relationships, I like to talk about love. And, I talk about love, not romantic or platonic or familial. Unconditional love is just more expansive than that. And you are someone that sees the world more openly, like through love and differently. And the way you move through life is through such a different way that a lot of people are connected to. You're compassionate, you're open, and you want to connect, right? I mean, you're here. You want to connect more deeply with yourself, the world around you, the energies around you. And there's this life that you're envisioning for yourself. And it's like there's this fear of kind of the unknown. Like you do know, right? You know what it feels like, you know what it looks like, but there's this fear of like, well, how do I get there? How do I move forward? How does this exist? Does this really exist? And this is just a good reminder, like to trust yourself, to trust, don't dismiss your feelings. You can trust in your intuitive nudges. You can trust in your psychic gifts. Like, and feel deep down what is meant for you. And it does exist. And so we'll pull more cards. But there's this, I just wanted to mention, there's this message of, when you are envisioning this life for yourself, this life that you want, it's important to picture and look at like, what are you doing in that life? Like when you're sitting there, whether that's through meditation or maybe you had a dream or in the mornings, what have you, when you are feeling and really connected to this higher timeline of yourself, like just like connect and look at yourself. What is it that you're doing? Like in your day-to-day, just in a normal day-to-day, like how do you wake up? Like, are you stretching? Are you drinking tea? Like, what is your routines? Like, just envision yourself and see like what it is exactly that you're doing. And then you can go ahead and do that, right? For example, if you see yourself like every morning drinking tea by the window, looking out, and gazing at the view, then you can start doing that, right? It's just one little step. It doesn't have to be really big steps, but it's just one little step. And in order to shift yourself and move timelines, you want to do little steps in all areas of your life. So for example, if it's about health and wellness, maybe you see yourself, I don't know, going on a walk every day or something like that, whatever it is, whatever movement your body gets. And so you start walking, right? Just a little step, you start walking. And then maybe for relationships, you see yourself, laughing and having fun with friends that have a certain hobby or niche, what have you. And so the next step would be to, go out and do that hobby or connect more with your friends and do those hobbies. And then for career, if you see yourself, working on a certain creative project or, doing something, you can shift toward that and just do one step in your career. If you're wanting to leave your career and to form a creative pursuit, what's just one step in that direction? You can start looking at what you want to do. You can start looking at what you're passionate about, or you can start, just browsing around looking for other career or roles that support who you want to be if it's not where you currently are. Or maybe you do enjoy where you currently are. And then you can just look up how to get your goals. If it's a promotion or if you want like a certain role, like what is the one step you can take in your career that will move you toward the timeline that you want, right? You don't have to go all the way down to Z if you're at B. You can just, what's C, what's D, what's just one little step in the next direction. And I think with, we did get shark, and, for sharks, it's about connecting with your body again. Sharks, they, they don't, they can't really see, right? It's more about their senses. They're moving through the water by instinct, right? Their gut instinct, their senses. And, sharks go after what they want, right? There's no hesitation with a shark. They will move in the direction that they need to move to. They trust in their instincts. And I think it's just another reminder of what I'm talking about. Like when you are wanting, when you envision your life, this life for yourself, and you're wanting to go in a certain direction, like try to get out of your head and go more into your body, into your heart, and just take that next step of what just feels aligned, right? There's no right or wrong. You can't get it wrong. It's just what pulls you, what moves you, what feels aligned in the moment, and just going after that, right? Going after what you want, doing that. And you did get, I am open to receive and I am authentic. And that just goes along with the messages very well of, stepping into who you are authentically. There's this, when we envision this life for ourselves or our highest timeline or our higher self or who we want to be, it feels like you, as I said, you are genuinely more loving, more open. And I don't know right now if you are walking into that path or if you're restricting yourself in any way. Maybe you're restricting yourself in your relationships or how people perceive you in public, or the way you talk. And it's, you don't have to restrict who you are. You don't have to restrict your expression, right? Like I am authentic, it's Leo, and Leo, you express yourself, right? You express yourself outwardly, like physically, that feels authentic to you, the way you dress, the way you look. And that's just more about expression, right? Not that physical appearance is important, but it's just more about expression. Like when people see you, the way you express yourself, does it connect with who you are, or are you hiding yourself, right? And, if you are naturally like a very loving and warm person, like then express that, right? You don't have to hide that. You don't have to restrict that for fear of how people will take it or assume how you are, right? And, you got first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. So, the Aries and Leo goes well with that. It's, Aries, they boldly express who they are. They boldly are themselves. And again, it's like, don't compare yourself to others, right? A lot of times, depending on what we're doing, we can look to other people for inspiration, which is fine. But sometimes we can get caught up in saying like, oh, well, that doesn't look like me. I need to change. Or maybe I need to do more what they're doing or act like more what they're doing or express myself like they are. But the message is you are unique and beautiful as you are. Like it is your unique soul and unique color and expression and the way you move about life, which is very beautiful. And so it's just another reminder of, when you are like shifting towards your timeline and wanting to go toward the life that you vision for yourself, embrace who you are. Like, don't hide your thoughts or feelings if you've been restricting them, right? Don't hide like the way you like to express yourself outwardly for fear of like how people will take it, right? Like dress how you want to dress, be who you want to be, embody who you want to be, wear what you want to wear, talk how you want to talk. And it's more of that energy of, like, I like to say color because that makes more sense to me, but it's like, what color do you see yourself as? What color do you see yourself painting the world? All colors are very beautiful, and a lot of people have, different favorite colors, and it's not that it's wrong, right? Like if someone loves red, it doesn't mean that someone that loves the yellow is wrong, right? It's just different, right? But they're both beautiful in their own right. And it's important that we all express ourselves as we are, that we're not trying to, be a different color. And of course, this is just what you connect with, right? You can be any color you want at any time. Sometimes we'll be called to be more like one color than the other. But it's just like, expressing who you authentically are, because the more you are in this world, the more you're expressing your authentic self, the lighter and brighter the world will be because you are stepping into who you are. And you did get cardinal. So cardinal, I just read the guidebook for the cardinal because I'm not connected with the cardinal bird a lot. But actually, aren't the Cardinals that football team? I call them the angry birds. But so the cardinal, though, the cardinal in the guidebook, it was talking a lot about, love and passion and family. So This could be connected to, for some of you, if this resonates, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a collective reading, so some of the messages may really connect with you. One message will really connect with you, or maybe none, which means it's not for you. But since this is a collective reading, just take what resonates with you, leave the rest. But for some of you, for the cardinal, it is about love, right? It is about relationships, which I had mentioned. And it's important. It's just another message reminder is, when you are envisioning this life for yourself and you're taking those steps, small steps to embody who it is that you see, it's very important to also look at our connections, our relationships, right? I think a lot of times people will hold on to relationships because they invested so much time and energy and effort into them, which is great. But also, since you're here and these messages for you, as you are shifting your life if you're shifting your timeline, your life towards what you envision for yourself, your vibration, it means your vibration is connecting with that, right? Your vibration is getting higher. And not everyone will vibrate at that vibration, right? We connect with who we are now because of where we're at, right? We're on similar frequencies, right? And if you're in a path of growth, if you're like constantly like working on yourself, growing, stepping into that loving energy, and not everyone around you is on that path as well, there's this message of you need to be okay that some people won't stay with you on your path, right? It doesn't mean that you have to push people out. It doesn't mean that you have to cut off anything if it doesn't feel, like that's a good option for you, that doesn't feel right. It's more of being open to naturally letting things ebb and flow. As you're on this path of growth, as you're changing, as you're moving, as you're raising your vibration, some people, the people around you will feel that, right? Some people, they'll feel that and they will naturally be inspired to also be like that, right? They will naturally be inspired to grow too, to change. They'll be looking more inside themselves, and so their vibration will naturally match yours, and so they will be growing with you, right? They will be following along with you. They'll still be connecting with you. And some people aren't ready, right? Some people, that energy, it's hard. Not everyone wants to look at themselves. Not everyone wants to dive deep. Not everyone wants to grow. Some people will just say they're happy with where they are and they don't think anything needs to change. And for those people, there's this message of, don't be too attached to that. Don't dim your light. Don't chain yourself down to stay where certain people are. The focus should be on you to continue to grow and, step into love and openness and, follow the path and the life that you want. And, just naturally be okay with who continues on in your journey and, who may not. It's this message of not everyone in our lives is going to be with us forever, right? And it's hard, right? It's hard to hear. It's sad. There's this healthy level of attachment and detachment. It's like you want to be authentically yourself, loving and open in all of your connections, and, try your best, and also be unattached, with the outcome. If you're being open, loving yourself, you're chasing after your dreams, and you're living your life, and some connections fall away, you have to be okay with that outcome, because it just means that it wasn't meant for you, right? Like what's meant for us will stay with us. What's not meant for us will leave. All right, let's just pull some tarot cards for some more messages about moving towards your highest timeline and any messages you guys have. Okay. So, a lot of reverse. We got the Ten of Swords reversed, the Nine of Cups reversed, got the Strength card, and the Four of Cups reversed. Okay. Let's look at the Strength card. Kind of looks like Merida. This is, it connects to what I was saying about, the path that you're on, the path of growth. It's going to take a lot of internal strength, right? It's going to take a lot of internal support, because as I said, it seems like connection is very important, right? Relationships can be very important. And the pain and anxiety and the hurt, it comes from being attached from the outcome, right? We don't want to lose what we've invested in. We don't want to lose the connections we made. And this is a reminder of, the connections that you have in your life are because of you. You are the one, and the other person, the energies. But what I'm saying is it comes from you. Like, you will be able to connect with other people. You will be able to invest in and build on other relationships. And, it's just a reminder of, if you can build like these types of connections with people that may not necessarily be aligned on your path for the long term, just think about the types of relationships and connections you can build on people that are aligned with where you're going, who are on that path of growth and who can continue to stay in your life, stay on your journey. Merida, Disney Merida, or Pixar, actually, technically. It's the first Pixar princess. But, Merida, she grew up and was born into this world, this family where, men kind of vied for the woman's attention, right? In the story, her father and mom put on this banquet for these teenage boys, because she's a teenager, to prove their worth to her, right? She said, I want to fight for my own hand in marriage. Like, I want to be the one to decide. And, they all shot their bow and arrow at the center, of the, what's it called? Of the target. And, they're not very good. They're like, okay. Her prospects were not the best. But she, at the very end, she proved her worth. She hit the center of all the targets. And then even for the one that did hit the center, she hit the center in the center of his arrow and split it because she was that much stronger. And it was just like all these people around her, it didn't matter. All these people around her told her, like, you're not what we expected. You're not within society's norms of what we perceive for you to be. In her case, as a woman, as the daughter of the chief, whatever she was. And she had internal strength. She had this inner calling. She had this inner knowing. She felt something, right? No one else could feel this, only her. She felt something so strong within her core that this is who she is. And she's not going to change, right? It didn't matter. All the people around her telling her, like, she needed to be different, that this wasn't okay. She felt so strongly in her core that she wanted to be who she wanted to be, and she wasn't going to back down. And this is like that message for you, for that inner strength of when you're going through this journey, this path of, fighting for the life that you want. No one's going to see what you envision. No one's going to see that, only you. Only you know deep down what you feel. Only you know what it feels like in your highest timeline for the life you envision yourself, what you feel like. You can feel like how warm and happy and excited and created and open and loving the energy is, and no one else is going to understand that. No one else is going to see what you see. You can see the deep connections that you have. You can see your passionate creative endeavors that you go after. You can see all of these things. You can see the way you treat yourself. You can see how you feel, the way you talk to yourself, how other people talk to you. Like, no one else can see that. And it's just this message of you have to stay strong in that feeling. You have to not dismiss your own feelings and your own abilities. And you have to instead believe yourself and just tell yourself, like, I believe you. I see what you see. I feel what you feel. I hear what I hear. I smell, taste, touch, everything that this vision has for me, and I know it's going to happen, and I'm going to stand firm in that, and I'm going to go after it, right? And it has to be for you, and you have to be okay with letting go of people, things, situations that aren't supporting that, right? If there are people telling you, like, that aren't supportive or, are kind of negative, they're like, oh, that's a dream, that's not real. It's not very supportive energy, right? You have to be okay with letting that go because it's not going to be supportive for where you want to go, right? There are people who don't understand that will say those things and it can bring you down, right? There's also people that may not necessarily understand or see what you see, but they believe you, right? They connect with you, they support you, and they say, like, wow, that's a great dream. I want to support you in that. Like, yeah, you can do it. Like, that's what you want, right? That's the supportive energies. Those are the people that can stay with you on your journey. And so that's important to keep in mind because we have this, 10 of Swords reverse, 9 of Cups reverse. And the 10 of Swords reverse, it's going to feel like a battle, but that you're coming out on top of, right? You're going to have, like I said, you're going to have all these fears, limiting beliefs from yourself and from other people that are, it kind of feels like it's poking wounds at you, right? It feels like, it might feel like you're drowning a little bit. It might feel like you're like right there on the edge of like trying to get to safety and security, but everything around you, all these people, situations, energies are bringing you down within yourself and others, right? It can be. But I feel like it is in reverse. And I feel like this is going to be something that you're going to feel and go through if you haven't already, right? This could happen to you in the past or could be happening to you right now. But this feeling is very real for you, right? But you're going to come out on top, right? With the inner strength, like I said, you're going to come out on top. You're going to feel all these things and you're going to let them go, right? You're going to feel through your feelings healthily. You're going to, acknowledge your limiting beliefs healthily, and you're going to let them go because they don't serve you, where you're going to go. You're going to let go of the situations and the people that are bringing you down and hurting these wounds and keeping you, drowning. You're going to let them go because they don't serve you, right? And then into the 9 of Cups reverse. The 9 of Cups is the wish card, right? It's emotional fulfillment. I'm thinking of I have another deck where it kind of looks like Princess Tutu, honestly, if you've seen Princess Tutu, the anime. But, in the original story of Little Mermaid, Hans Christian Andersen, when she is a human, she dances very beautifully and elegantly for the people. And it feels like knives on her feet. It really hurts. But even with that, she moves past that fear and she's dancing so beautifully, so elegantly. And she's literally like at the peak, right? She's a human. She's dancing. Everyone thinks she's beautiful and she's in front of, the prince that she wanted to be in front of. And this is like complete emotional fulfillment for her, even moving past the fears. And with this 9 of Cups, I'm getting the relationship thing again, not relationship. It's finding these people, these connections that really make you feel supportive and like kind of like it's almost like it's too good to be true, right? That some people get afraid, when they meet people, connections, and this could be any type of dynamic, right? Platonic, romantic, whatever. And some of these connections, when we meet them, these soul connections, even as you're moving through this, right? You're going to your highest timeline. You're going to meet more soul connections and more soulmates, right? Of different varying levels. And some of these connections, you're going to feel like, wow, this is too good to be true. I feel so connected to this person. I feel so bonded to this person. I feel like I'm so at home. I can't help but smile when I'm around this person. I can't stop thinking about this person. It's like, for some of you, it's like this slow burn of like, you can just feel their energy with you at all times, right? This isn't like an unhealthy thing. Like, you can live your life, but for those of you that know what I'm talking about, it's like, their energy is always with you. And it makes you feel really happy. It makes you feel good. It doesn't matter if you're together or apart. It just feels so good to be around them, to be with them, to be connected to them. And I do see this for you, but not to be afraid of those connections, right? And to not control it. I've said this before, but, don't control the outcome. When you meet these people, make these connections, it's important that you like accept it, right? Open your heart, accept it. Believe that you're open to receive these connections because that's what's meant for you on this timeline. And just ride the wave, go with the flow, like just let it naturally play out. Like don't specifically try and steer it in a certain direction, right? Just let it naturally, like organically flow, like the ebb and flow, like a wave on the ocean, right? Just let the wave kind of ebb and flow naturally and see how it goes. But these connections are meant for you. They are meant to make you feel this way, this hope, this desire, this happiness that maybe you haven't felt before, or maybe you have and it's been a while, but this is meant for you. And we have the 4 of Cups in reverse. So this is a time of, it's just that message again of not sitting around waiting. Like Four of Cups energies can be about, waiting around, contemplating, admiring. Like in this Four of Cups, this person is admiring these beautiful cups, right? Admiring them so much, so intently focused that they don't see like an actual genuine bird out in the back, like singing. Like, yes, these are so beautiful, right? They look so beautiful. They are so beautiful. They're made of gold. But there's also this real bird in the back singing a beautiful tune. And it's just another reminder to not stay so focused on, it's again, of trying to control that connection. But in general, acknowledging like what lights you up, acknowledging like what inspires you, but also not being so focused on that, also being open to the possibility that there may be something out there that looks a little bit differently than what you were expecting, but that's very beautiful and offers a different type of inspiration for you that you may not have even been open to before. And it like might shift things or change things for you, right? Like, I can't think of an example, it's hard to explain, but in this Four of Cups card, for example, this artisan may have like, maybe they made these cups themselves or they bought them. I'm not really sure, but they're very beautiful, right? They're gold. They have beautiful colors. They're birds and they're admiring their work. And it's like, they're like, oh, this is the most beautiful thing in the world. Nothing else could be as beautiful. Like nothing else matters. But then it's like, there's this bird in the background on this little cup that's singing. The cup physically, like subjectively, it's kind of just like a wooden cup, so it's not as intricate, right? It's not as intricate as the other cup. It doesn't mean it's not as beautiful, but it definitely doesn't like pop, right? So this person may not have noticed, but there's a real bird on there singing, and a song from a bird is just very beautiful, right? It's a different experience. Like it's not something you can explain. And these birds that this person made, these items, they're not singing. They offer a different type of beauty, right? There's nothing less beautiful about this real bird singing on this other cup. But if this person would just turn around or pay attention to this bird singing on the cup, their life might shift, their life might change. It might raise their vibration, right? We never know what experience, what situation, what person might shift something for us. Like if you've ever had a inspiring conversation with a stranger, maybe you just met them somewhere and you had like a 10-minute conversation and it inspired you so much, it shifted something within you. Maybe you'll never forget what they told you. It was just like a sentence or something, but it inspired you. It shifted you. That shift, that change, that support, that love, that creative inspiration, that growth, like you can't really put a price on that, right? You can't describe how important that shift was, right? And it's just another message to remain open. Like, yes, stay focused on your goals, stay focused on your visions, stay focused on where you want to go, and, slowly, like intuitively move toward that direction. Also be open to other paths or ways the universe might be trying to show you that actually might inspire you more or maybe more aligned with what you're thinking. Because, we are human, right? We can only conceptualize things in our brain, right? But what we want, what we desire, it may take a different form than what we originally thought. And it doesn't mean it's wrong, right? It might actually turn out a lot differently or even better, right? Than what we were thinking. And it might be more supportive toward us. So just another message of, try not to like be stuck in that phase of like, like the hangman phase. It's like contemplating, observing, but not being overly focused on what you think things should look like. Being more open to the possibilities that inspiration can come from everywhere, right? Love can come from many different things. Connection, what we think we want, may not actually encompass everything that is available for us, right? Like the universe probably has a lot more expansive things in mind for us than what we're originally thinking. All right. Well, let's take, I just want to take like 2 of these on how to shift our energy and move forward your path. All right. So we have gratitude and opinion. So opinion, a view that is formed based on what you know, how you think and how you feel. a perspective or judgment informed by your personal experiences, your upbringing, and your worldview. Seeker. And we have gratitude. What can you appreciate right now? What do you need to do to practice and invite gratitude into your life? I think for opinion, it's kind of that. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about just being more open to how things play out, what things look like, maybe even unconventionally, right? Like when our opinions or perspectives are formed, it's based on our lives, right? It's based on our life experience. It's based on maybe what we were told growing up. It's based on what we've researched and studied. It's based on what we explored. And so it's just this message of remain open, because our opinion and our perspectives are subjective, right? There's no right or wrong. It's just based on what I just said. So always be open, right? Always be open to the possibility that your perspective on something may change. It could be on anything. It could be on your way of life, people, connections, how you view yourself, but just to remain open, because your opinion and your perspective is always changing based on your experiences. And like I said, you don't know like what could happen in your life, or like, a person, conversation, situation that might shift something for you. So just always be open to that. And for gratitude, stepping into your timeline, showing gratitude. I think I mentioned this before, but it's like, when you're envisioning this life for yourself, I don't know about your routines or practices, but it's really important to show gratitude, just to remind yourself of what you're thankful for in the moment, because it gives you that, it raises your vibration, right? You're telling the universe like what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for, right? Like, for example, in the mornings, I say I'm thankful for the clean air. I'm thankful for my easy access to fruits and vegetables. I'm thankful for the connections I have. But, I get more specific. But, you can also be thankful for, when you're envisioning your highest timeline or where you want to go, the life you want to live, also be thankful for that, even if you don't have it. Like, for example, when I envision my life, I'm by the ocean. Like I see the ocean view and it's like this big bright place, which actually is kind of like how I am now. But I'm thankful for this bright, airy space for me to express myself. I'm thankful to see the ocean every day, things like that. And just being thankful toward yourself as well. Like you've come so far, you do so much work, and it's important to take time to express gratitude toward yourself. Like I'm so thankful that I take the time to connect myself, to listen to my voice, to move my body, to nourish myself, to drink water, to replenish myself, to heal and connect my inner child, just things like that, being very thankful for it. Because it's this vibration again. You want to, when I say like take steps to move toward the life you want to live, yes, that's important. But also what's really important, which maybe might be the most important, is you want to match the vibration of the life you want to live, right? You can feel how you feel and the energy that you feel, and you want to match the vibration of that. And so gratitude is another way to raise your vibration into that loving, more open energy. And then let's just close out with that Ruby oracle, which I'll read from the guidebook. And we got, oh, this is beautiful. Let the magic in. For Vane. Oh, look at that. I love the mountains. They're like purple. They remind me of like crystals. Like they look like crystal mountains. I love that you have the sun and moon. It's that duality, but I love actually that the moon is more apparent up here, like the galaxy, the stars, it's cosmic. It's like connecting with nature, what you see and during the day, but also connecting with the magic and the nighttime. And it's just showing again of like, we're here on Earth, we're living this earthly life, but also there's a whole other world out there, a universe, a space that we're unaware of, the galaxy, but we're still connected, right? And then I love that it's showing like these different paths, all these beautiful paths you can take. All right, let's read from the guidebook. Okay, let the magic in, Vervain. Vervain whispers of enchantment and worlds not quite seen. She'll teach you to see beyond the ordinary and help you explore the liminal lands of the psyche. Through her easy access to the in-between, she can call in the medicine of plants not present, making her a must for any healer's garden. Ask Vervain to channel her sisters and hold their place in a tea blend or incense. But remember, even though she is wispy, Vervain is powerful. A sip of her tea is magical, a cup nauseating. Why? Because too much mystery puts us off balance. Think of it as motion sickness of the soul. So let Vervain dance lightly on the edges of your consciousness, reminding you of the infinite possibilities that unfold when you let the magic in. Ritual. Study the interstitial. Celtic, or is it Celtic? Celtic lore says that druids harvested vervain when neither the sun nor the moon was in the sky. These magical times occur almost daily. We call them dawn and dusk. Vervain's medicine is the medicine of these interstitial times of liminal places, doorways, crossroads, and the place where the sea foam curls onto the beach. The way to truly understand her is to hone your knowledge of the in-between. When was the last time you truly took in those moments when night slips into day or day into night? For 3 days, choose to observe the sunrise or sunset or both. Carve out 10 minutes to stand under the sky, holding vervain in your heart as you absorb the magic of the in-between. If you have something weighing on your mind, be open to the possibilities of unexpected answers. And then just a reflection. The ancient mysteries venerated the in-between and the interstitial as places where possibilities overlap, creating the perfect petri dish for synchronicity and magic. These places are often called crossroads because there, instead of continuing on your current path, you could choose to make a hard turn and explore the unknown. In mythology, crossroads have a guardian because major life changes often require the death of an old way of being, and humans need guidance or a trial to help them through this rite of passage. Oh my gosh, rite of passage. That's the card you got. If you were standing at a crossroads today, what would you be willing to leave behind to take a new road? And I think that's a beautiful way to summarize. It is a balance, this in between. It's, as I said, basically, letting go of those energies. It is about energy, right? People, situation, things, they're all energy. So letting go of energies that don't serve you, continuing on your path. And, it is a balance of, being grounded at this reality, our human selves, and also, though, listening to your intuition, your gut, and following the magic. And I really like that, the ritual of the sunset and sunrise, because I've been watching a lot of sunsets recently. It's that passage between, the magic and the day. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for connecting with me. That is all the messages that I have for you. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you want to continue connecting with me, go ahead and continue to subscribe. If you want your energy into the videos so I can read for the collective more accurately, you can like or comment. And as always, sending you warm wishes and soothing hums.